Well, it's severely limited me with my children, my interaction with them, not being able to pick them up, roughhouse with them, play with them. At that time, they were 5 and 6 years old. So as a father, that really starts to bear down on you when you can't interact with your children.
I couldn't take the kids to the mall or the zoo or a theme park and walk around without being laid up in bed for, 3 to 5 days afterwards.
And when I stayed for a long time behind a computer, that was really painful.
I was a single mom at the time, so working was difficult, taking care of my kids was difficult. So to have an opportunity to be able to get my mobility back and reduce the pain that I was having and do it with no downtime, yeah, it sounded a little too good to be true.
Couldn't move at certain angles or just a shooting pain. Whenever I may have gone to reach for something, and it just shoot up through me and lock my body up.
And I went to turn to look over my right shoulder, and when I did, I went into spasm where my kids thought we were going to wreck because my nerve, I was shaking to the point that I had one wheel, but I had to hold myself up off the seat to get the pressure off the nerve.
Zero quality of life, couch-ridden, miserable to the umpteenth degree.
Life with back pain is, it's undescribable. It's terrible. Every day you'd wake up in constant pain. It's even hard to fall asleep at times. You maybe fall asleep for an hour or two just to get the right positions, just in play. Multiple pillows you'd have to put. I'd put it between my legs, try to turn this way, that way. No matter what you do, it's a burning, excruciating, constant pain that never goes away.
Moving the desk, I was afraid that if I try to move too many, it might aggravate my back and my neck. So I kind of stopped doing that and just had the kids would help me.
When it first started and I was getting the headaches, I would take pain relievers. I was prescribed Vicodins. Vicodins weren't helping that much. I started taking Tylenols and Aleve along with the Vicodins. And it got to the point where I didn't want to become an addict, and I just stopped taking them, and I just had to deal with it.
I went from an extremely active 32-year-old man who hunted and fished, rode bikes, ran, as active as I could possibly be, to somebody that sat on a stool at work, couldn't lift batteries, couldn't do my job. It got to the point that I was in so much pain every day that most days when I got up, I didn't want to leave my bed because that was the only place that I had any kind of comfort.
The procedure was really good. I flew to Houston and I had the nerve mapping done on the first day. The second day they did my lumbar spine, and the third day they did my cervical spine. And I actually went into the cervical procedure with a migraine headache. And when I woke up, I didn't have one.
I went to Renew. They explained with video what's gonna happen, and believe me, it's exactly, the results are really positive impact in my life.
And the great thing was, my experience in the past is people have never been accommodating, especially when it comes to surgical procedures, as actually sitting down with you and taking the time to explain it not only once, but actually a second time. Because we actually came in a second time and said, okay, it's been a while since we talked. And you know how it is, you go to an office and you remember maybe 20, 30% of what's been said, even though you're trying to pay attention. And we just said, was that what they were saying? Was that what it is? Is that what it's about? Is that what the expectation is? Well, let's call up again. And they said, let's just make another appointment. Come in, we'll sit down, we'll answer your questions, we'll go through everything again. And I think it was just, it was such a calm and inviting and friendly atmosphere. You didn't really feel like you were in a doctor's office.
It made me feel comfortable about having the surgery, to actually up to the surgery, which was a pretty good surgery. I felt the results right away from my back.
Everybody I met, whether it was a receptionist or all the way to the doctor in-house that takes care of making sure that you do what you're supposed to do to be ready. It was just smooth.
The whole experience with Renew, start to finish, the hands-on treatment, the total explanation of everything they're going to do and go through, what you will go through as well, is up front, presented nicely, and carried through from beginning to end. And follow up afterwards, everything is involved, one entire encompassing group.
Right away they took me in, they did a full evaluation, and they checked everything out, made sure that, you know, if I'm okay. They were always up to date with me. Every other day they would call just to check up on me, how I'm doing. And then we had the surgical procedure scheduled, went through the evaluation. They stuck by me the entire time.
When I think of surgery, I think of, you know, a scalpel and cutting into the back. So I didn't want to have it, but when I had problems with my pinched nerves in my arms due to the 2 hernia discs in my neck, I just said, all right, let's do it. But they explained everything well. A lot of it was just nervousness on my part, but I mean the recovery time, and I have no scar. I mean, it's amazing.
I called, they got me in within, I believe it was like 3 days. Went in, I seen the doctor. They took me back. They showed me a video of exactly what it was, the new type of surgeries that they were doing.
Absolutely great group of people to work with. I mean, absolutely great. Any questions I had, they had no problems answering. Me text and email is better than a phone call, and so I was able to text Todd and text the people in the staff up front, email back and forth. Because of my job, I'm not able to be on the phone all the time. I've got to be able to send a quick text, send a quick email. Everybody I dealt with at Renew was perfect.
I was back to working 40 hours. I was back to playing with my kids. You know, those are things you just can't put a price tag on.
I can function more. I can enjoy my family more. I have a 3-year-old little girl that, you know, I can get down on the floor and play with her, whereas I wouldn't have been able to do that before.
The last project, I spent probably 20 hours in front of my computer, you know, taking little breaks here and there, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The procedure and everything else. You know, the result of the procedure was really good.
I actually stood up and walked out after the procedure was done, like 45 minutes later. And already, I mean, the mobility in my neck was better pretty much immediately. And the most difficult part about the whole thing was taking it easy, because you felt good.
Just knowing my limitations has always been the hardest part, but they've given me back what I had years ago as far as the opportunity to do the things I used to do.
I didn't know if I wanted to go on, and now I'm out here participating in all this. Festivals, I ride my bicycle, you know, possibly even compete again on it. So it's night and day difference.
And now I have full mobility in my back, able to run, golf, making it finally straight down the fairway. It's just been a pleasant experience and life-changing experience. And I'm very happy that Renew has been there with me the entire way.
It was an instant relief the very same day. And it was amazing. I was just like, wow.
The change was so drastic that the following day when I went to work, I felt 100% better. And every day after that, I felt better and better and better and better, to the point now that we're months later, I'm back to being active. I go for motorcycle rides, I go for walks, I go for runs. I've been hunting and fishing, and I've gotten back to my life.
I wish I would have tried the minimally invasive procedure first. Turns out it was the scarring from the first surgery that caused most of the problems the second time around. So, you know, with what they were able to accomplish, it was amazing, especially being able up and walking the next day.
I would share my story with them, and then, you know, answer any questions that I could, and definitely send them over to Renew to see if they were a candidate, because it can be life-changing.
And that's why I'm here, and I want to voluntarily do this testimonial and tell the rest of the people that really work.
I would explain what I've been through with the different procedures I've had, and I'd say check out Renew. Because if what you're looking for is something that works, that has next to no downtime, and you're going to feel pretty much an immediate result in terms of mobility and pain reduction, I haven't seen anything else like it. I haven't felt anything else like it. And I've been through both sides of it.
I've offered the information to several people. I know some of them are thinking about it. As a matter of fact, through a chat line that I'm on, I just found somebody that's not even in this state, but they are having problems, and I, 2 days ago, made mention they need to let me put them in touch.
100%. If your quality of life has diminished to the point where you can't cope anymore, there's not a whole lot other way to go. Go Renew.
So I would recommend it to anybody that has anything that can be fixed.
I would definitely give them the Renew's telephone number off the bat and tell them these guys will change your life.
I would definitely refer them to Renew. As for the experience that I had there was amazing.
The last time that I went in for my final checkup, I grabbed a pile of cards off the desk because, of course, I'm in the motorcycle industry. I deal with people that have had injuries almost daily, people that are talking, I'm asking about different seats, different controls, different handlebars. My back hurts because of this, my back hurts because of that. A lot of times I hand them a card or tell them about Renew. If I don't have any cards with me at the moment, I get my phone and I grab Todd's number out of it. I tell everybody that asks, I tell them to go see Renew. Because of the results that I've gotten, it made me a believer in the company.